We interrupt your regularly scheduled program to bring you another episode of We Can Help with Dave and Woody, already in progress.
I've had so far.
I don't think I've killed him. That's a pretty sage comment, don't you think?
Yeah, but anyhow, that's why the keyboard is laid out the way it is.
Okay, we may have to start the show over again.
No, I'm telling you, know why it's laid. You knew before I told you, you knew
Yeah,
why it would be.
yeah, yeah. There's a dude that came up with it. I teach keyboarding, business keyboarding in school.
So you let me go on the last 15 minutes about something you already knew about.
I just wanted you to feel important.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks.
I think it's called the QT.
It's called QWERTY.
Yeah, QTR.
No, QWERTY. It's the first five keys in the upper,
Yeah.
first six keys in the
We
upper
covered
left.
that in the first semester of the class. And
Yeah, it sounds like you do
I can't
because
remember it.
yeah,
I just check out.
exactly. Yeah.
Some old dude came up with it.
Well, he's old now. Yeah,
Well,
he may have been young. Did he work for IBM?
I don't know.
So you know
I don't know.
nothing.
I turn the videos on. I just glaze over.
You go to sleep.
Wake me up in 5 minutes, guys. Don't say that. That's not funny. We do have to start over now.
Yeah, exactly. I pointed
All
out
right,
one of your foibles.
welcome back. Hey, we're back,
Yes, we are.
and you're listening to We Can Help with Dave and Woody.
Running a day late this week, much to the chagrin of some of our listeners.
Well, at least one.
Yes. You want to mention who that is?
And I feel like I have to address this issue early, just in case we lose that one listener.
Yeah, because I don't want to lose any.
No, did he say we could say his name after all that stuff?
No, we can just go with the first name.
Okay, so JoJo, let me speak. If you're watching on YouTube, I would encourage you to do so, JoJo. It's going to be a moment.
Yeah.
I want to make eye contact with you, is what I'm saying. So, JoJo, my friend, this is Dave talking from the heart. I'm sorry.
I don't think
sorry.
you have to be.
Well, no, I want to apologize.
Okay.
That if I've said something that the inference was misinterpreted, I'm sorry.
And
usually I don't apologize for much, but
No, I can
JoJo's a
attest to
special
that.
friend, and I want to make sure it's clear. So I'm gonna give you the butt side of it.
Well, we need to tell the listeners who weren't paying attention maybe why you're apologizing. Or did I throw you under the bus?
No, well, we have a mutual friend who his first name is his name is JoJo that we know.
Yeah, that we know him as JoJo. I can't pronounce his real first name.
Is it Juno?
I I think it's longer than that, if I remember right.
Well, let's not get ourselves in more hot water.
Yeah, exactly.
JoJo's what we know. And so Woody has I'm just going to say this up front. I believe a much closer relationship to JoJo because of where he and JoJo fell in the fraternity and long-standing better relationship. Although I came along later on and I consider JoJo a friend. I hope he considers me a friend. He always had nice things to say about me and to me. But so Woody and a couple other guys that we've talked about on the show have a connection with JoJo. When you say his name, I don't know the whole story, but something about JoJo's mom or one of his parents when you called him on the phone. How do you do it, Woody?
Well, when we would call his house, we would ask for JoJo. His mom would try to press the phone, like, hold over the speaker, but you could hear her go, "Oh, JoJo." And she would just yell like it was an emergency, even though we were just calling to say hello to JoJo. So that became our greeting to him was, "Oh, JoJo."
And that was accepted, right?
Yes.
He never
Yes.
confronted you and said, "That's not cool."
Right. No.
Okay. So there's step one. Step two, I wasn't privy to that part of the relationship. I was never on the phone asking for JoJo. I never heard his mom say it. So I've for years, up until maybe a year ago, I didn't know the backstory of that when Woody does that. So moving forward, I don't know that I ever called him while we were in the fraternity what we're talking about. I don't
think so. This is fairly new, I think, just when we start.
But I am married and have children, And when my daughters were young, they were infatuated with this character on TV called JoJo the Clown. And so every time we speak of JoJo in a story that relating to somewhere, Woody does his thing, and then I go, aha, JoJo the Clown. And so I wasn't in the conversation. I saw the text that was going back and forth.
Or you were leading your.
Don't say that. I was involved in an evening meeting. That's correct. Anyway, so when they say JoJo, it makes me recollect to my daughter constantly wanting to watch reruns of JoJo the Clown. And so that's when I say JoJo the Clown, never inferring that our friend JoJo is a clown.
Exactly. And neither would I, because I wouldn't hang out with people I consider clowns. Although we are having a conversation right now. So I'm not sure that counts anymore.
I'm kind of afraid of clowns like Kramer.
I never was. I always liked clowns because they were silly and that kind of thing. But so many people are scared of clowns. I don't. Why?
Okay, so let's make sure we're buttoning this up. JoJo, please accept my apology. We are going to talk about clowns because Woody said something, and I got a little bit of funny story. It has nothing to do with you, JoJo. Okay?
No, we're not inferring. JoJo is now a high-level man in the casino business, I believe.
Well, let's not go any further. I don't know what those connections are like.
Yeah, well, you don't want to make fun of them, is my point.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's not go there. All right, so JoJo, I hope you understand if you're listening. I hope you accept my apology. If you don't,
well, he can punch you in the gut when he sees you in the.
No, I got a hernia.
Do you really?
I just tell people that when they fight me, I go, no, look, I got to hit me in the face, please.
Can't get any worse.
I got dental work that needs done.
Yeah.
All right, let's put that to bed. So JoJo asks, I am sorry, and I hope that our bond of friendship is maintained. And is he coming to Orlando?
Yeah. Oh, that's what I said. He can hit you next month.
Now I got to face him face to face.
Now I got to apologize to him face to face.
I'll be ducking him the whole party at the week. Oh, okay. I got to go.
You got to go.
All right. Anyway, so the clown thing, separate apart from JoJo, of course. I often wondered, what does it take for a man? The woman thing I get, a woman dressing up like a clown. And I grew up in a time when Bozo the Clown, there was a show called Bozo.
My dad went on Bozo the Clown show.
Well, they had one. I think every town had one.
No, this was the Bozo the Clown.
I think my wife was.
Don't marginalize what my father did. Don't try to play it off.
I don't need to get any more people pissed off at me.
Anybody could have attended Bozo the Clown. He did the one in New York City.
So Sheila knew Mr. Rogers. In fact, Mr. Rogers' neighborhood is the neighborhood that Sheila grew up in.
Get out of here.
I swear to God. Point Breeze.
Where'd she grow up?
In the city of Pittsburgh. And this is, she's very personal about this because everyone says, oh, I'm from Pittsburgh. And so now it's kind of like saying, oh, you're from Orlando. Whereabouts in Orlando? Altamont Springs. That's not Orlando.
Like I say I'm from Charlotte, but I'm not.
Well, so she's from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Point Breeze, which is a very city, kind of wealthy neighborhood. But anyway, so the neighborhood.
So you married money is what you're saying?
No. The neighborhood, she was.
She left before it got that way.
I caught her in a moment and she was weak and she said yes. But anyway, the neighborhood that Mr. Rogers' neighborhood is Point Breeze. See that at Squirrel Hill. I can't remember, but it's a
no, thanks for yeah. Oh, I know all this other stuff.
Anyway, so what was the point? So the clown.
Yeah, clown. Yeah.
I could see a woman doing it. I don't have any problem with that. But for a dude, and this is back before all the weird stuff started happening in the news. I remember.
Oh, yeah.
I remember as a kid going, okay, they got to put all that white makeup on their face, first of all. And then they got to do the nose and the big smile and the big Converse Chuck Taylor's extended shoes and the oversized overall, all this stuff. So they can lure little kids around them.
You weren't thinking that.
I swear to God, I was like, this is odd. You know, now I have no problem with rodeo clowns. I think rodeo clowns are, they don't call them that anymore. They call them stuntmen, I think. Rodeo.
Yeah, I think you're right. Oh, go ahead. I actually have a tie-in to that, but go ahead.
Hold on. Alexa, what is the new name for rodeo clowns?
From publispeople.org. Because the job responsibilities have become much more serious in modern rodeo competitions, a number of professional rodeo clowns now prefer to be called bullfighters instead of clowns.
Yeah, okay.
Alexa, volume 10.
Like somehow it's gotten more dangerous to stand in front of a bull than it was 30 years ago.
We're going to go off clowns here and address this because here's a classic situation. This kind of goes back to the janitor versus the custodial.
Custodian versus sanitation engineer.
Come on. There's
enough with the title changes.
There's nobody in the stands that's taking your job any less important than saving a man's life riding a bull that's gone crazy. So, you know what I mean? Why can't we just say you're a rodeo clown? You dress like a clown? I mean, I guess they don't do that anymore.
I think they do a little bit. The only reason I knew it changed, I watched not a Dirty Jobs, but Mike Rowe does another show now on YouTube about somebody's got to do it, I think is the name of it. And he did rodeo clownery, if you will.
Bullfighters.
Yes.
You're not a bullfighter. Those people are insane.
that's the guy who stabs a bull after they
that's bullfight.
Yeah.
That's not clowning around. That's bullfight.
I don't think there is anymore.
Because ASPCA got involved.
Oh, yeah. The ASPCA.
What is he? Is that the wrong one? PETA.
It's PETA. You're thinking of PETA.
What's ASPCA? That's the pets, isn't it?
That's the adoption, adopt dogs, cats, and all that kind of stuff.
Sarah McLaughlin.
Yes. Have you seen that beer commercial with her in it?
She has a beer commercial?
Yeah, she's on that Bush Light commercial, and I forgot the premise somehow gets around to saving animals or something, and they start playing her song, and they're like, wrong animal, Sarah. And she's like, oh.
She leaves. Red? What do you mean wrong animal?
Well, it's like a wolf and not a pet dog or something like that. So maybe I'll break the show right here, play the YouTube commercial, and then go back to the show.
Have you seen the quarterback and Emmitt Smith together on the Bud Light commercials?
His ex-quarterback?
No. Peyton Manning.
No.
So I was watching a very short time of NFL. I was watching the Pittsburgh game, the Bills game actually, and they broke to a Bud Light commercial, and it was Peyton Manning and Emmitt Smith at the bar, and like go long, and they were tossing Bud Light cans to the guys in the bar, and I'm like, Peyton Manning owns a Major League Bush distributorship in Louisiana or Tennessee, wherever he is. I don't begrudge the guy for doing that, but good luck. I don't think.
No, he bought a round for the whole bar, is why he was throwing them. Now I remember the commercial.
Yeah,
I didn't realize Emmitt Smith was in it. So
I think it's Emmitt.
Yeah, they're just trying to get the brand back. Obviously,
it's a shame. It's my favorite beer, by the way.
And I know you can still drink it.
Well, not without a skirt.
Oh, stop. He's like, why do you? Okay, good question. Why do you drink Yingling?
I'm not really sure.
You know what he did, don't you?
Yingling?
Yeah.
Okay, I can't wait to hear that.
I'm not telling you that. I have nothing. I was just trying to get
IP freely or something. No, it's America's oldest brewery, by the way.
Yes,
it's in Pottsville, PA. So it's American made, American owned, kind of like your small batch.
I don't think the one you're drinking is from PA.
I think it is.
No, they make them down in Tampa too.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
Well, that changes everything.
Because I was going to do a tour of the plant.
I can't drink a beer that says they're from Pottsville.
Well, the company is from Pottsville.
It's the original amber beer.
Oh, well.
Michelob was talking about amber beers.
That's the same company too.
Okay.
Anyhow, let's move on.
Anyway, so let's move on. Anyway,
You're afraid of clowns.
The clown thing. Yeah, it's kind of creepy. I mean, I'm not afraid of them, but it is kind of odd that someone spends all that time to do that.
It's to entertain children, not to get the children around them.
And I want to give those guys the benefit of that. It's easy to say stuff like that just off the cuff, like being on the internet. It's easy to say stuff and
not be
hurt
held
somebody's
accountable.
feelings. I know I've known people. I don't know them personally, but I've known people who have been historically career clowns all their life.
Yeah, I'm not sure I could socialize with a career clown, but because I think it's a whole different wavelength of
Is it
what.
the horn? The
Yeah,
thing?
I never found clowns funny as a kid. I was like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to laugh, so I'm laughing, but I
Well,
never
see,
really.
that's what I'm talking about. 7, 8 years old. I'm like, what are you doing? This isn't funny.
Well, yeah, I
It's
mean, I
weird.
got because we went to the Ringling Brothers, and they would all get out of one car and they would run around and chase each other. That kind. The closest thing I liked, and I'm a really big fan of it, is Three Stooges. I would call them clowns as well. They just don't wear the makeup.
They clowned around.
Right. So.
Yeah. Have you watched Three Stooges lately?
Yeah, there's a whole cable channel devoted to Three Stooges.
Is that Me TV?
No, they don't play them. No, it's like a Three Stooges channel. If you kept your Sling account, I'd tell you which channel it is. But
Does
you
it
dumped
have
them.
the Saudi Arabian script?
No,
Is that how you
no,
find it?
it's not. It's all in English.
I think we actually have the account still.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know.
There's just
All right.
there's not a lot of content to drive a complete channel devoted to the Three Stooges, but they do it.
I don't think they ran. I guess they had, what was it, Curly and then Shemp? Who do you like better, Curly or Shemp?
Curly, but Shemp did more, and then there was Curly Joe, and I think there was a fourth one as well.
Fred?
No, not that one.
The guy I worked with, the guy I worked with in financial services business, this guy he is a bad dude. He played nose guard for North Carolina State. And when you walked in his office and sat down, there was a picture of the Three Stooges, right? He was looking at the Three Stooges over your head when you would sit down. So you'd be in like do you have one behind you?
That's what I'm pointing at. Or behind
Oh,
the thing. I got to apologize to our listeners. I'm home alone tonight, and my aged dog likes to bark at nothing outside for 10 minutes at a time. And she's
I haven't
just.
heard it.
Oh, yes, you'll hear it in the playback. I'm sure of it.
Okay.
So,
Well, that's all part of the game.
yeah,
Anyway,
you'll see your shadow come through here.
So this real fancy place has got a picture of the Three Stooges. I'm like, come on. But he loved them.
Good.
I never really liked those guys either. I didn't. I liked oh, I loved them. I can't remember who they are. Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, I like them a lot too. I used
Saturday
to
mornings
Yep.
and Sunday mornings they played them on TV. Who's on first? The Who's on First thing was obviously classic, but Abbott and Costello to me were, I was one of each of them. You know what I mean? I was a straight guy. Who was Abbott, the little short fat guy?
Yeah, Bud Abbott.
Yeah,
Hold it. And Lou Costello.
I think Lou was the fat kid. Hold on.
Oh man.
Is she gonna know it that way?
No. The fat kid.
Alexa, which of Abbott and Costello was portly?
From Wikipedia.org. By 1945, the duo nearly split up as they were fighting each other and suffered from their own personal issues. Abbott suffered from severe epilepsy and Costello had nearly died of rheumatic heart disease in 1943.
I'm going to say Costello was the heavy guy.
Lou Costello was the heavy guy.
There
I have it up on my my screen.
And the other one had epilepsy. Well, that would be part of an act, wouldn't it?
Well, it happened during
the act. What are you doing? Having a seizure? Yeah. Oh, that's good, Dave. Lou all epileptic.
Yeah. All right, there we go. Now we're losing all those people. Hey, listen, I stumbled across it. It's bugged me a little bit, but I looked it up. So you know how we occasionally talk about advertising campaigns that you're like, why?
Yes.
Didn't someone say no? You're not doing this.
This is your gig, right? You're going to be the consultant.
Yeah, that's right. You have to run these by me and my constituency, and we'll give you a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So
okay, lay it on me.
So you've heard of Chipotle, right?
Was it salmonella or?
Well, but the restaurant is like a Tex-Mex place.
Yeah, no, we have them. We have one.
Yeah, and they had 2 E. coli outbreaks.
E. coli.
Yeah,
that's
I think
not bad.
2015 and 2020 or something like that in the last 5 years. So
a new slogan.
Well,
their burritos will wipe out your lower intestines, or what? What is the deal?
Need a blowout? come to Chipotle.
We're gonna get
No,
sued.
their whole ad now is they come, one of those cameras, I don't even know what you call it. Like it breaks the fourth wall. The employee's talking to the camera, right? And
Yeah,
they're like, oh,
hold on, that's called
well, breaking the fourth wall. Right?
yeah, but Sheila's a theater major. She always tells me it's
You're on a roll tonight.
breaking the plane.
Okay.
Same
Well,
idea, but yeah.
same idea. And they're talking, and you get it kind of mid conversation, or like, yeah, we don't have refrigerators here, and they're bragging that their food is so fresh that they don't need
No chance to rot.
refrigerators. I'm like, wait a second.
Well, I don't think a cola is like.
But if you're trying to get past that, do you really want to advertise that you
Don't worry about the E. coli.
Yeah.
It's the botulism is what you got.
Right. Do you really want to be advertising that you never put your food in the refrigerator?
Are you serious? They say
Yes. Yes. Our food's so fresh, we don't need
inspector over there right now.
We don't need refrigerators. So I'm like, wait a second, you've had 2 outbreaks of E. coli. And I don't even know how you, like you said, I don't even know if it's related to refrigeration or not. But I don't think.
Alexa, what are symptoms of E. coli?
Here's something I found on reference.com. E.
Why don't you ask me
coli,
this?
or Escherichia coli, infections are caused by consuming food or drinking water that is contaminated with the E. coli bacteria or via contact with contaminated people or animals, and its symptoms usually include severe stomach cramps, vomiting, low-grade fever, and diarrhea. According to the United States Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, people with this condition can have diarrhea that is bloody.
Don't worry about the refrigeration. We're all good.
You know what? And speaking of which, when drug companies have to give the side effects, how they list the side effects? The one they've gotten rid of lately is explosive diarrhea. They saw every drug had explosive diarrhea.
I like it. It's always those drugs that the guy has a problem going outside, right? Because he's all torn up about it. He doesn't have the confidence and whatever
Right.
he is. But then he's like, oh yeah, side effects, explosive diarrhea. Now I'm outside. I got a moment of confidence. I'm making some new friends. It's like, hey Bob,
I gotta go. I gotta wrap this conversation up. Like,
oh, too late. I don't know what's going on with you, Bob. But
so I guess maybe they petitioned the FDA that they don't have to say explosive diarrhea anymore. They just say diarrhea now. So
really bad,
really bad diarrhea.
You're not going to make it to the nearest bathroom.
So killing two.
It's the Yingling making me so silly.
Is that it? We'll have another.
Do I look flushed to you? I think my blood.
Yeah, now you do. Now you do.
I
think it's your lighting.
It could be. Coli. You can't go wrong with that.
Yeah. So that's one I see. I was like I said, I'm like, why didn't someone say, you know what? Let's brag about the fresh food, but let's not push the whole angle of us not using refrigeration.
Maybe you can say we have no freezers.
Well,
or
I wouldn't even go. I would just stay away from that subject. There's so many things you could talk about.
Say it's fresh.
That's all you have to say. It's fresh.
And our people wash our hands.
Exactly. So
especially the ones with E. coli. we frown on that.
Yeah, we appreciate it if you keep to that.
Well, that makes me wonder who's in the C-suite. Maybe they need to do a little cleaning house and say, look, you guys, you about killed us last time. Really, seriously, with the E. coli thing. If you're still on the board making these decisions, it's time for you to go.
I wonder how many times
Taco Bell's looking for some people. Maybe you go down the street and burn those folks too. All right, that's a funny one.
Oh, I appreciate it.
I'm sure we'll get a letter of cease and desist after that.
Well, yeah, it's not. I didn't say anything no one didn't know already.
The problem is, I would appear in court for the lawsuit, but I've got bloody diarrhea. So
explosive.
Sorry.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, we're going to jail. Well, that's good. Do you want to hear my stock report?
Are you going to gloat?
No, it's not a gloating moment, but it's kind of a testing moment.
All right.
I'll get it. I'll do it if you want. If you insist.
Yeah, please.
So for those of you who don't know, you should tune in more often. You catch up. But I decided to play a little games back in September. I put $2,100 into a Roth IRA.
You big spender.
Big spender. And I said I'm gonna have a little fun with it and use some of my knowledge that I've used in the past, but a little more aggressive, a little bit more not so conservative. And the account as we stand right now is $2,763, a $663 gain, or 31.57%. Now here's the cool thing. I've had as many as 7 or 8 stocks, different companies, and it's kind of a diversified portfolio. And I've realized some as little as 15% climb all the way up to 23% climb. And so I've been fortunate and had a positive return on each one of them. And so I would sell and immediately, as soon as the account cleared, reinvest, go do some research and find some more stocks. But I'm left in 3 stocks right now. And it turns out there are 2 of them are carbon-based petroleum type. One of them's an oil and gas generator, which we all know that's doing so well, out of Texas. And the other one is a chemical company that supports the oil and gas industry here in the United States and across to the Middle East and anywhere else who's producing oil. So they're involved in the chemical aspects of either getting it out of the ground. I don't know what they do, but there's something to do with the chemicals and the petroleum. But the third one is this one called Coure, Coure Mining. CDE is the symbol. And I decided to really apply some fundamentals to it. And it's a gold and silver mining company out of they're based out of Chicago now, but they've got
the
a
same one
mine.
you've had almost all along, though, right?
Well, I've been in and out of it twice. This is
Oh,
the
okay.
second time. I've made money the first time about 30%, and then I'm back in it. And so, but here's what the nutshell. Here's where the fundamentals come in. In the last 6 quarters, they've been a negative net profit. So they haven't been profitable. But what they've been doing is investing in their sleuth box capacity. And so they've got a producing, they've been around since 1920s. And this particular mine has been proven to produce silver and gold. And as you may know, with inflationary that we're in, the gold and silver has escalated to higher prices. The problem is you can only process so much ore. You have to dig the dirt up and process it through a sleuth box. And then it takes machinery, heavy machinery that runs on diesel for the most part, to do that. So there's a lot of cost and potential breakage and stuff. But they've been investing for the past 6 quarters in their capacity, and it's now coming to fruition. And so I started to think, wait a minute, gold and silver continues to go up in price. They're going to now realize their fruits of their labor. I think it's anywhere from 4 to 6 times the capacity they're going to be able to process through the sleuth box. And then the last quarter, the fourth quarter of last year, if you remember the Christmas buildup, diesel and gas prices were relatively cheaper, much cheaper. And it typically happens in a political arena around Christmas time. Everybody feels good about the current administration. Oh, look, the gas prices are going down. And so they had a quarter with less fuel costs, higher capacity sleuth box processing, and higher gold and silver spot pricing. So my fundamentals say we should see a net profit. Well, they just announced they're going to have a formal fourth quarter report in February. I think it's February 21st. And it was a big hullabaloo that all the C-suite people are going to show up for this broadcast. Usually it'll be, the finance.
Well, is this like a
up.
year-end thing? They're going to report their fiscal year 2023?
Yeah, and specifically the fourth quarter, they're going to nail down
Right.
how much they're going to be on the fourth quarter. And then they just announced yesterday that one of the investment houses is putting together a gold and mining workshop. What they do is they'll find sectors and they'll do a feature, and they're going to be featured in this TD Ameritrade.
Yeah,
I think it is. Let me get that first before I say something that's not true.
well, and as I've told Dave before, I consider myself an expert on gold mining, as I've watched Gold Rush on Discovery Channel for the last 6 years. So I was trying to explain to him how, just because you make the sluice box bigger, now you got to invest in more trucks and more excavators and everything else to keep feeding the new sluice box. So
yeah,
there's
Coeur to participate in upcoming TD Securities Global Mining Conference. So what happens in these small cap stocks is any good news is good news. Any news is good news almost. And so I think I position myself. Now, I'm not going to make millions off of this by any means. We're talking about $2,100 initial investment.
Well, I'm in for a cut of 50 if you do.
And all my friends say that. As soon as I do all the hard work and I start showing, they're like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I should get some too."
Well, I mean, I was part of it here, am I not?
That's not how free markets work.
Oh,
Anyway, so some people. The reason I'm bringing this up, and this is a guy at work that I'm talking about, was talking about this. Some people play fantasy football. Okay, and I guess you can bet on fantasy football, right?
oh yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't do that. This is my fantasy football. And
I
I'm
mean, it's
not,
legal gambling, which now gambling is legal. So it's kind of a
yeah, and
statement.
this isn't messing with anything I've done in my whole career to set us aside. This is just a little fun we're having.
You're just
So-
using your kids' money, right? That you save for
yeah.
them.
Hell with them. They got a
Right.
good name.
Yeah. Use it.
So anyway, so that's what we're doing. It's by February 21st. The other companies are going to have their fourth quarter announcements as well. It's going to be exciting to see how it goes. So maybe I can pick up, there's 1,300 outstanding shares. If I can pick up $1 and increase $1,300 in value, then I'll be at $4,000 in the kitty, which will put me well into my first year's return.
Well, great, Dave. I'm glad we can all share in your wealth generation.
Well, I'm a giver,
I feel. Do you need to give your statement?
the account number and my social security.
No. Your statement. Your
Yeah, all future earnings and results are not representative. No, wait a minute.
indicative
All past
of
earnings and results are not indicative of future results.
right, and by no means am I telling you to go buy any of this stuff.
Yeah, this is just a game. You're a buyer beware. You're hopefully an adult. Make good decisions. If you don't, not my fault.
Hey,
I didn't tell
listen,
you to do this.
I'm going to change subjects on you, and I'm just going to talk about it. So, I think over in that bottom corner, there's a red button that says subscribe. And what we're asking you to do is go over there and click on it. Yeah, you were in the right corner. Yes, the same one that it's always in. So I just put the banner across with a little finger pointing to the button. It dawned on me that maybe people in our generation may or may not understand all the intricacies of YouTube, but the subscribe button is meaningless. Well, not so much meaningless to the user, but it's very important to me and Dave. It helps us with a little bit of traction. We get a little bit of free advertising. We get pushed far. The more subscribers we get pushed higher in the algorithms that say, hey, give this show a try. This is stuff you like. So the only thing it does for you as a user is if you are a YouTube watcher and you have subscriptions, you can go to that section of YouTube and only see the videos from your subscription. So if you could click on it, like I said last week, make sure click on it from your kid's account. Everything else, it costs nothing. It's absolutely free, but it's very, very beneficial to the show. So the more of those we can get, the better. We have a goal of, we want to get the first goal is 500 subscriptions.
By when?
Well, I'd like to see it by the end of next month,
Quarter.
February. I mean, that's kind of set that goal a while back. So the faster we get there, the better. And maybe we'll do something special for the listeners. We'll give them. Let's see how many beers Dave can drink in one session of the show, and that kind of stuff. How many
Chipotle? Is it Chipotle?
How many Chipotle burritos and Yinglings can Dave put down
before he explodes?
Before he has explosive diarrhea. So anyhow, if you could please
that's a show worth tuning into.
That would go right to the top of the charts, Dave, if you could pull that off. Since you didn't get a date with Taylor Swift, which would have helped us.
I'm counting my lucky stars on that deal.
Why?
The more I thought about it, I was going to go out there and make the call, but I don't know if I want to be seen in public with someone like that.
Well, yeah, I guess you'd have to get the advertising from it. But
Did you
Hey,
watch her in the press box?
she's they show her every time she's in the press box. She's every game she's at.
Did you hear what Coach Dungy said about her?
Yes.
Taken away from the game.
Yes.
She's not worthy of watching.
But the TV broadcasters will continue to do it because her legion of fans tune into the game just to see her, so they get advertising dollars.
So that just means they're more whores.
Whoa, yeah, oh, definitely broadcast, not Taylor Swift.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, okay. At first, I thought you were going that route. I'm like, whoa.
No,
Dave,
I don't know anything about her on that level. I'm just saying that the ad revenue guys.
Yes, as we've discussed offline about how companies are. It's just the only thing they care about is money, more money, I should say. Hey, I got something I want to follow up. Remember our work from home?
Yeah.
I heard something this week that I thought made sense. So, we said there's remote work, there's hybrid, and there's, in the office 40 hours a week mode. And I was against the hybrid because I thought that kind of defeated the whole reason you would offer remote work, in the sense that you have a bigger pool of potential employees to pull from if you allow remote work. So, but that someone said it in jest, and I thought, well, no, that makes sense. Why not offer a lower salary to work from home, to be remote? Say the going rate's 100,000 for the position, but you go, you know what? If you want it to be remote, it's 90,000.
That's kind of cool from a employer standpoint, because I could see if the employer says, "Look, we need you inside, but we're tired of this."
Not that they need you inside, but that
we want you inside.
Yeah, we want you inside, but if remote work is the only way we can get you on board, you got to take a lower salary.
I like that.
I think that's fair for both, right? But
you know what would happen is the guy who works remote would turn out to be a really crappy employee.
Well, then you let him go.
I like your thinking, but I guarantee you then I'm not getting paid as much, so why am I going to work as hard?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, not that they are a crappy employee, but that.
So there was an article that I posted into my Facebook group, on my Facebook page. Bosses are fed up with remote work for 4 main reasons. Some of them are undeniable. And I saw this and said, I should post this to Woody, but I didn't.
Thanks.
Number 1, remote work is banned for new hires and junior employees. This one is not nearly as controversial as it sounds. Okay, we'll go on to the next one then. I want controversy.
Yeah, that's what
Number 2, workers admit that remote work sometimes causes more problems than in-person work. That's vague.
Sometimes. And I'm sure the opposite's true as well.
When executed incorrectly, hybrid work plans can create discordant, unproductive teamwork. Really? Number 3, remote workers put in 3.5 hours less per week compared to 2 in. I think I'm having too many beers. Compared to 2 in-person workers. I can't read anymore.
I bet you could find this exact study the opposite way. That's
hold on. Number 4, productivity plummets on days when everyone is working remotely. Anecdotally. So,
how do they measure productivity when we're not really creating product?
I don't know, but so be careful of this, but a member of our household has been sick all week and working remotely from home. And as I came in, I had to run errands today. I had a bunch of stuff after my work, and I got home at what did I text you at 7, 6? I got home at 6. Well, that person in my household worked 12 hours today.
Yeah,
and put it in. Didn't phone it in. Worked and did it.
Right.
And she's capable of doing that all the time.
I thought you were going to tell me she was less productive because she was at home. I'm like, no, because she's sick, Dave. That's why.
Well, but she's one of these that loves to work like I do, and you don't need to. She doesn't need to be managed. She'll. I
would say the majority of people, probably a high majority of people, like the idea of working.
I think it comes down to, if I'm an employer and I'm writing a check, it's not necessarily, if you want to call it, control's a dirty word for you. it's still accountability, and I want to be able to measure it and see it. So the employer has not been able to let go of that yet because it's their
Right.
money.
No, absolutely. Again, and that's why I'm saying, okay, man, they get an employee for a little less if they allow them to work remote.
Well, that's interesting because my wife, years ago, way before this was even a subject, we moved to West County, as I say, and her commute became 70 miles one way. And so I said, you know what? Why don't we put a proposal together that you work from home? And this is way before anyone ever
Right.
did it. We had internet though, and her work was really set up for that. And they said, you know what? You're valuable. We don't want to lose you. We're going to do this. But they paid her more, but they didn't have to do her FICA. They made her a contractor.
Oh, okay.
So you
So no
figure,
insurance, no nothing.
yeah, so they actually paid her more, which would help offset the cost of her going out and getting her own insurance if she wanted to.
Right.
And they didn't have to pay the 7.65,
Whatever.
whatever it is for the FICA. And she got grossed more money.
Right. So that's a win-win.
And they didn't have to have her in the footprint real estate wise, so they could, free up another office space.
Right. And that worked for
It worked for
her.
everybody.
Right.
I think times are different now.
Just because employees are demanding it now, which I don't think that is a good move. Obviously the employees kind of have the upper hand at the moment.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That seems to be the talking point. Yes, there are people struggling to find people to come into work, especially in
Right.
certain industries more so than not. Service industries,
I was
frankly.
going to say service industry, which there's
Yeah.
no way to be virtual. So
Yeah. So, but the common thread that everyone's walking around, well, you need me more than I need you. I wish the employers would start saying, you know what? Fine.
yeah,
We don't need you. Go
right.
on. And
I
we'll
agree with
figure
that
out a way
too.
to get it done. As soon as we have that attitude, suddenly people are going to be like, because it's the takeaway. As soon as we start kowtowing to everybody, then all of a sudden they're making these demands.
I agree. And but it's, again, it sways back and forth. I do see, I think the importance of unions is going to start creeping back into conversations again because healthcare is starting to get out of hand at companies.
Do you have a
we used
union in your business?
no.
Have you ever?
I'm sure I could
Probably a
find
personal
one,
question.
one,
Would
one
you would you
office,
join one?
depending on what their goals were.
Their goals?
Yeah. Well,
Well,
what they wanted us, if I thought I was being, right now I wouldn't because I feel like I'm getting good representation. I feel like I'm being treated fairly.
I think you need to make sure you say that loud and clear a
Yeah.
couple more times. I'm loving my job.
Yeah. No, I do. I don't see a reason for it, but I do see um, occasionally companies getting a little bit more aggressive with not paying more and taking away insurance and taking away perks and vacations and it'll get to a point. I'm not in favor of the I don't like how unions are set up, that there's a president who is paid separately. He's not an employee. So his or hers only goal is to make sure its members keep reelecting that person and they draw a nice big fat salary, right? So
Yeah,
all they ever talk about is, oh, I'm going to get you more, next negotiation, I'll get you more money, I'll get you more money. And then they start ruining the product
right.
uh, because they drive so much cost into it, more so than is really needed. And so, but when the union started, it's because employees were being treated like crap, so it's cyclical. It's kind of been on a balancing wire for the last 20 years between the two, but it seems to be going in the favor of companies, I think, these days.
Sidebar. Just got a text from Alan, and he just wanted to make sure that you're registering for the gig and all. And I just sitting back and said he's listening to our podcast, the I guess a previous episode right now. So Alan, if you're listening to us, we'll give you a shout out on the next one that rolls out. And I said we are in studio now, and we are finalizing flights and stuff tonight.
There you go. I'm glad he was so concerned about my arrival. Please let him know.
So
it's good that while I'm talking, you've
he's trying
decided.
to, hold on a second here. He's
Yeah,
trying
well,
to talk to me right now. Let's get him in on the call.
I was going to say I had Sigma Chi written down here. We're about 10 minutes away from the end of the show. So
Hey, Alan, do I have your permission to put your voice on the radio? We're in the middle of our podcast, right? And you're texting me and bugging me. Do I have your permission to have your voice over the internet?
he hung up on you.
Okay, then we won't do that, but we'll get back to you. We're in the middle of doing a podcast right now, and you're bugging us. We're doing that.
This is great potting right here, man. I can't hear him either.
You're right, Alan. The one that we're doing right now is not on right now because
it's being recorded.
He's a technical wizard.
That guy. And yeah, is he still talking to you?
I think he's still talking. Alan, we got to go. We're in studio as we speak, Alan.
Right, and we're about to talk about the Sigma Chi
we'll talk
reunion.
To you later. Right.
So, would you like to?
Yeah. So, hold on a second. I was going to text you and tell you. I can't tell you that. Yeah. So, Sigma Chi. We've wrapped up unions.
Yeah. Give my spiel.
Guys.
Make sure I've let my current employer know I have no intention of joining a union.
You're not going to organize, right?
No.
Okay.
That's too much work.
You're not up for that.
No, that's. Come on.
Okay. Sigma Chi 50th. Let's back up. Eta Pi chapter of Sigma Chi is celebrating our 50th anniversary on February. Oh boy,
February 23rd.
February
and 24th.
So 23rd is Friday. Saturday's the 24th. We're checking out Sunday the 25th. Apparently, I got to take Woody to the airport.
Yes. So if I don't make the next show, it's because Dave slept in.
Anyway, so if you're an Eta Pi Sigma Chi or an ATO, we don't care. No, Eta Pi Sigma Chi.
You just got to pay twice as much.
That's right. Come on down to Orlando on February 23rd, 24th, and a good time will be had by all. It's the 50th anniversary. You may remember stories about Sigma. How many
beers
Chi.
you've had?
2. I'm a lightweight. Sigma Chi. And then once we get the real national chapter says you're on board, but we drop one of the Sigmas apparently. So we become Sigma Chi. And then we got our branding as Eta Pi. There's a lot
of Greek letters.
I don't know. It's all Greek to me. But anyway, so yes, we're not supposed to be silly about this. Apparently there's a senior brother, I won't say his name,
Alan.
That didn't want us to get silly, but I think it's going to be a good time. There's going to be a Friday morning golf tournament at Top Golf. So you're not going to have to carry a big tour bag with you. And there'll be plenty of refreshments and plenty of public restroom facilities available to us.
And probably air conditioned as well.
I just hope we're not on the upper. Well, the upper deck's fun, but I could see one of us falling off into this.
Well, they put little catch nets out on the edge.
Yeah.
So you'll be okay.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
I'll tell you a story one day. I had to walk on one of those catch nets, not a Top Golf, but go ahead.
Anyway, so that's Friday morning. I think it's about 9:00. You can sign up. Go to the Eta Pi Sigma Chi Facebook page because I don't have the website in front of me. But go to the Eta Pi Sigma Chi Facebook page, and there's a web link to the event. Woody, are you looking up the web link?
Yeah.
Is it a simple site?
No, I'm sure it's not. So
anyway, go back to Facebook, Eta Pi Sigma Chi on Facebook, and
here it is. Okay. It's etapiucf.com/50th celebration. That's 50th celebration.
Okay, and if you missed that, you just hit reverse on the video and play it over again.
Listen to me say it 5 more times.
There you go. So go there quickly. This thing's gonna, we're gonna be down there the 23rd.
It's gonna sell out.
Yeah.
Don't let it sell out.
We won't make it to the next 50th one. I guarantee that. I'll be.
No, I won't. Yeah, I'll be 106. 106. So you have to wheel my ass into the.
This is the last one of the 50th we're going to be able to get to. Hey, I think it's going to be a good time. And
I know it will be.
The organizers, a lot of guys out there. Alan, Tim, Charles, Mark.
People coming in from.
Stitch. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. I don't care about saying this. Jim, he's out there doing something with transportation.
Who is?
Jim.
Okay.
And then there's another Jim that's doing stuff. I don't know.
Hey, I need a ride. Is someone going to pick
There
me
might
up?
be a Kevin too. I don't know.
Is Jim going to pick me up at the airport?
Jim's the guy.
All right.
No, it's going to be a good time. So, I don't
Well,
know
it
if
better be.
I don't know if that's our promo. But anyway,
Well, listen, it's
yeah, we're going to wrap this up because my beers have made an impression upon me, if you know what I mean.
yeah, well, it's auctioneer training night here in the Woody household. So I need to wrap this up so we can get started on that.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to argue with you because of the we had Chipotle for dinner.
I gotta run.
Got to run now.
I took Jardian or whatever that medicine is.
All right. I'm Dave.
I'm Woody.
And you've listened to a titillating episode of the We Can Help with Dave and Woody. And we got
Good night.
All right. Good night, dear. Bye.
What?